What is going on, everybody? Welcome into a MLB 21 trade deadline recap and grading of the day's events. What an absolutely crazy week it has been. This started a couple weeks ago. I feel like the Blue Jays fired the opening salvo when they acquired Simber and Dickerson for Panic and a prospect. So we are rocking. We are rolling. The dust has settled on the trade deadline, and we are going to be grading the trades, grading the teams, how they performed with their trades. So everybody make sure to, as we go through this, hit the grade. Where do you think your team or the team, if they're not your team, where do they rank? So we are going to jump right into this thing. And again, I appreciate everybody that is here with me live. Again, just an unbelievable couple of days in this whole situation. Maybe one of the most memorable trade deadlines we've had. So we're gonna dive into this thing, and I'm basically not gonna go in any particular order, to be quite honest with you. What I am going to do is I'm basically going to start in the American League East, and we're going to move our way through. Welcome, everybody that is here with me live. Comment below if you are catching the replay of this. Hit that like if you enjoy the trade deadline content that I've been putting out. I hope you have. It's been about as nonstop as it gets lately, so we're going to try to see what we can do here. Okay, let's do this thing. First up, we are going to start. Let me get my note here. All right. We are going to start with the Boston Red Sox. The real big deal of note that the Red Sox made was that to go and get Kyle Schwarber. That was a big move. That was the standout move that they made, answering the bell from everything that the Yankees did the best they could. There were some other pieces they could have grabbed. I have Rocky, welcome in, my friend. So first up, it is the Boston Red Sox. Where are we going to rank the Boston Red Sox? Hit that A, B, C, D, or F if you think the Red Sox did well with this deadline. I like the Schwarber trade. I think that they have a lot going on. They've got Chris Sale coming back. I can't give the Red Sox an A because the teams that are going to get an A just blew it out of the park. I don't want to give them a D. I think, again, they made a nice answer. I'm going between C and B is my feeling for what the Red Sox did. And it's really because they got the big name. They got Schwarber. They missed out on Rizzo. That's a good point. I'm back and forth between B and C with the Red Sox. You guys are going to sway the decision here with me live. I'm seeing some Bs. I am leaning towards B because, yes, it was one move, but it was a big move. I do know they also added a bullpen piece too. So we're going to give the Red Sox a B. They made a bullpen move late. They did send Michael Chavis away, but they make a nice bullpen move. And they get Kyle Schwarber. That was a big one. Next up, the New York Yankees. Listen, there's not a ton of drama with this one. Everything that they did, Andrew Haney coming in late, the Rizzo trade, the Gallo trade, they didn't give up an insane amount of pieces. Vizcaino and Alcantara went to the Cubs. And then for Gallo, it was also Joely Rodriguez coming in. We had Smith, Duran, Halver, and Glenn Otto going to the Rangers. The Yankees addressed what they needed. They needed some extra pitching. They needed to go and get those lefty bats. They got two of them. They didn't give up a ton. Now, they didn't trade Luke Voit, so we'll see what happens. There is another trade deadline at the end of August. Maybe something happens then. I am going to, and I'm a Jays fan, but I got to give them their credit. The Yankees get an A. A great job. One of the best jobs that we have seen. All right, next up, I am looking at the Toronto Blue Jays. They get Soria for a player to be named later. They get Barrios for Woods Richardson and Austin Martin. They get Brad Hand for Riley Adams. They get Trent Richards and Rowdy Tellez. They get Trent Richards for Rowdy Tellez. They get Adam Simber and Corey Dickerson for Panic and a prospect. The Blue Jays did a great job here. They got the pitching that they needed. They didn't need any hitting. They addressed the bullpen. The Blue Jays get an A for what they did with the trade deadline. I know we kind of got a little bit excited about, maybe Trevor Story, but I don't think that was necessary. I think that would have been a bit much. They get Jose Barrios. They give up they paid a premium for a premium pitcher. I think it was worth it. So a lot of A's and B's for the Blue Jays. Let's go. AB, I don't think they traded away too much. Woods Richardson is struggling at AA, and Martin has a nice on-base percentage, but he's hitting for no power at AA. And I know it's the beginning of his pro career, but usually power numbers go down as you elevate up to AAA and then up to the big. So anyway, there we go. Blue Jays get an A. Next up, the Rays. The big piece that the Rays got came a few days ago, and that was Nelson Cruz. Getting Nelson Cruz early for a number 10 prospect and a number 17 prospect sent those players to the Twins, Joe Ryan and Drew Strotman. They also got Luplow and Johnson, some depth. They got Sean Anderson. They traded away Rich Hill. I think what the Rays did with Nelson Cruz, I don't want to give out A's to everybody. I swear I don't. But the Nelson Cruz deal was big. There were some other moves they could make. Nelson Cruz, it's an A. The Rays get an A. There may be a lot of A's. I'm not trying to just hand out A's. I see a lot of you guys with some A's, some B's. It's a B. It's an A situation, and we're gonna go. We're gonna be generous. Nelson Cruz was an amazing get, one of the best bats, and so we're gonna give him an A. I mean, and some of the other pieces that they did, the depth pieces, I like that. So we're gonna give the Rays an A, and the Orioles. They basically did not much. They traded away Freddie Galvis. They traded away Armstrong. They're going to get some pieces, some players to be named later, so forth and so on. They didn't win it. They didn't fail it. The Orioles are going to get a C. Trading away a couple pieces, getting some prospects back. We're going to give the Orioles a C. Comment in the chat. Let me know if you agree with the Orioles getting a C. Just feels right. They didn't lose the deadline. They didn't win anything. There's nothing to win. They held on. Maybe the pieces that they held on to kind of grade them here, right? Holding on to Means and Mancini, I think that was smart for them. Next year, if they're still in struggle city, maybe they think about trading one of those. So that's where we put the American League East teams. All right, let's move to the American League Central, and let's jump right to the White Sox. White Sox coming up first in the Central. Where are they going to go? So for the White Sox, they get Craig Kimbrell. Did they need Craig Kimbrell? Maybe not, but they get Kimbrell from the Cubs for Nick Madrigal. That was a big price to pay. Cody Howard as well. They get Ryan Tepera in a separate trade. I think that there could have been some other pieces that they could have done. I think did they overpay for Kimbrell? I don't know. I guess time will tell on that. I like the Bs here. I'm not going to give them a C. Their bullpen is amazing now. I'm going to give the White Sox a B. I see a lot of Bs in the chat. B feels the right way to go. Next up, the Minnesota Twins. So the Minnesota Twins look like they were going to be sellers, selling away pieces that they didn't have control beyond this year. They got excited and dealt away Jose Barrios. Let's get the Twins logo up here. Right here we go. So the Twins are up. They traded away J.A. Happ for John Gant and Evan Sisk. Barrios away, but they got a great return in Woods Richardson and Martin. Strotman and Ryan, the number 10 and number 7 pitching prospects from the Rays. So you know that's good. I think considering everything, holding on to Buxton was probably smart. You know, they've got another year of control. They can work that out. They didn't trade Donaldson. I see some Bs. I see some As. I think they did the best they could. Listen, if I had a B plus in here, it would be a B plus, but I kept this A, B, C, D. I'm going to put the Twins as a B. I like what they did. Again, I would give them a B plus if I had B plus in here, but I just have B. So we're going to go B for the Twins. The Tigers kind of didn't do anything. They traded away Daniel Norris, and that really was all that the Tigers did. There was nothing else from the Tigers in this game or in this deadline. I really think that they should have traded away Jonathan Scope. I think there are some pieces that the Tigers could have moved and gotten something special in return and something that could help them. The Tigers are going in the right direction as a franchise with the pieces they have, but I really feel like they should have turned Jonathan Scope into something because Scope's gone at the end of the year. So we're going to give the Tigers a D. We are going to give the Tigers a D. I'm not going to give them an all-out F. It's close, but I'm giving the Tigers a D. I see a lot of Ds in the chat. Definitely a D for Detroit in this one. The Kansas City Royals, couple of trades. Casey Kalich for Jorge Soler, last-minute move. We'll see what Kalich turns out to. A player to be named later for Danny Duffy, so they'll get something. Where do we put the Royals? Comment in the chat where we put the Royals. I feel like the Royals are a C or a D. They weren't going to buy anything. They didn't have a lot to sell. Keep that in mind. They're not going to trade. Now, I know they could have traded Merrifield, but they were teasing everybody. An F for not trying. They trade away Soler. We'll see what that piece is that they get back. We don't know. I feel like putting them at that D. I know there's a lot of Fs in the chat for the Kansas City Royals, but they did get something for Soler. They will get something for Duffy. They made a couple of moves. Again, they were in a tough spot. They can't get rid of Santana. They can't get rid of Salvi. They didn't get rid of Merrifield. I didn't think they were ever going to. It would have been fun if they did. I'm going with the D for Kansas City. Chris Tucker, yes, Kimbrel went to the White Sox. It's hard to keep up with everything that happened today. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on and do this, kind of give a little recap and hand some grades out. The Indians went into a quick little sell mode. The interesting piece is that the Indians, I'm still calling them the Indians until they make me stop. They trade away Luplow and Johnson. Luplow wasn't doing much for Peyton Battenfield. We'll see what he turns into. They get Miles Straw for Phil Madden, an arm piece. They trade away Eddie Rosario, get Pablo Sandoval back. They got nothing back for Rosario. There was not a lot to sell here. I do think they could have done a better job with Eddie Rosario. I wasn't on the phone with anybody, but I still feel like Cleveland. I see some Fs and I see some Ds. They're down towards the bottom here. We're going to put Cleveland with the D on this one. I think they could have done better on that Rosario deal. He was their piece and some of their bullpen arms, and I just don't think they got much back. I'm not a big Miles Straw guy. Pablo Sandoval could get DFA'd tomorrow if he hasn't already. So we're going to put the Indians as a D. Again, everybody comment with your grades as well as we go. I like the interaction here. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for hanging out. Make sure to hit the like and stay close to the channel as we get into this. Now that the trades are done, a lot of player locks are coming. We'll be doing player locks for the Yankees. I believe Gallo's in the lineup tonight. I got to check and see if Rizzo's in the lineup. There's going to be a lot of player locks for all these players that have changed teams. So if you're not in the market, you don't want to just trust what ESPN gives you for highlights or MLB and all, I got a player lock for you. It's every pitch of the at-bat or the outing from a pitcher. I think you might like the player locks. Miles Straw, you like Miles Straw, the sports expert? I don't know. We'll see. Rizzo is in the lineup, Tyler? Okay. So we got Gallo and Rizzo in the lineup. Thanks, Heat. Thanks, Tyler. We will be checking that out. Reed Detmers, the Reds are calling him up. That's good to know. We'll check that out. So if you like the player locks, if you like what we're doing there will be some player locks. And Heat with the Pablo got released. I believe that. So let's go. Gallo just struck out. Oh boy, it begins. He'll walk next time up probably. All right. Right. Reed is on the Angels. I knew Reds. I've seen his cards. I've got Bowman first of Detmers, so that's why I went straight to Reds because I remember the red jersey. All right, let's get back into this thing. Again, everybody that's here, thank you. I know we got a lot of games kicking off. You're probably watching some of these games. The Yankees debut. The Blue Jays are doing a big ceremony right now as they are finally back home. So we have that on in the background. All right, we just did Cleveland. Let's go to the West. We are in the National League in 1 minute, safe. We are going to be right there. Astros, they got, where are we, Astros? They got Phil Maton from the Indians from Miles Straw. They got Yimi Garcia. They addressed the bullpen. They got Graveman from the Mariners. Ultimately, the Astros did a good job improving that bullpen. Their bullpen had the most blown saves of all American League contenders. So from addressing a need, they did very good. I'm surprised with the Straw move because I feel like he was their center fielder and then they didn't go and get anybody to replace him. But addressing that bullpen is important. I see some Bs. Keep coming in there with the grades. B or C is where I'm going. You address that need in a big way with all of those arms. Maton, Garcia, Graveman, really a great job with the bullpen additions. B or C. This feels like a B minus or a C plus. So I am going to go. I'm going to give them a B. I'm going to give them a B and give them credit for addressing a major need. Let's keep moving. Let's go to the Astros because I promised one of you that we were going to get to the National League East in a second, and we will. We got a couple more teams in the West to get through. Athletics pick up Yan Gomes and Josh Harrison from the Nats for some pieces. They get, I got to move my thing. They get Andrew Chafin from the Cubs. They get Starling Marte, but they gave up a lot for Starling Marte. That Starling Marte deal, he could be gone and Luzardo goes out and becomes lights out for the Marlins. I kind of ding the Astros a little bit, or the Athletics, for doing that. So for the Athletics, the Starling Marte is a nice ad, but giving up on Luzardo is going to, the Marte piece is nice. Gomes and Harrison, that's good. Chafin, that's good. They did some things. I'm giving the A's a B. Comment in the chat. Yep, I see some B's there. I see a few A's. I understand that. I'm going to give them a B because Luzardo for a rental is not that hot. Heat with the update. Rizzo is up. When I'm done here, I'm gonna go put that game on. I look forward to watching that. I'm gonna have to restart it and do some fast forwarding, but I want to see these at bats. I need to get these at bats for the player locks. All right, so we move on to the Rangers. The Rangers were in sell mode. They did a good job. The Rangers did a good job, and I'll be honest, I hate the Rangers. Okay, just being completely honest with you, I hate the Rangers. I'm a Jays fan, so I cannot like the Rangers in any form or fashion. I do not like the Rangers, okay? I'm putting that up front. The Rangers get Spencer Howard, a highly regarded prospect from the Phillies, and 2 prospects for Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy. They go away, but they get Howard and 2 prospects. They got the haul from the Yankees, Smith, the number 14 prospect, Duran, the number 15 prospect, Hauver, the 23, and Otto, the 28 for Gallo and Rodriguez. They got Sessa and Wilson for a player to be named later. I am going to give the Rangers, for all that they got back, there was some praise for the return that the Rangers got. I'm leaning between C and B for the Rangers. I see a lot of C's. Maybe they could have done better on Gallo. I don't know if they could have done better for Kyle Gibson. I see a lot of C's. Where we have gone, I think the Rangers did the best that they could. They could have had Gallo for another year, though, right? Gallo wasn't gone. They had another year of arbitration. So considering the Yankees get an arbitration year with him, B or C is where I'm going. I see a lot in the chat with the C's. You guys are here with me live. I appreciate that. So the overwhelming is C. So we're going to go with C. You guys with the decider. I see some B's, but I see more C's and a couple D's for the Rangers. So the live chat helps sway the decision on the Rangers. All right, next up, the Mariners, and then the Angels, and then we're getting into the National League. The Mariners They bring in Diego Castillo, Tyler Anderson, Abraham Toro, and Joe Smith. They send out in drastic fashion Kendall Graveman and Jesus Montero. The Mariners, I thought, could have made a move. I think they could have done something here. They could have gone and tried to get Story. They could have gone and tried to get Whit Merrifield. I think it's a big miss by the Mariners. I am borderline giving them an F, but I'm not going to do that. D's are in the chat. D's are where they're going. They should have gone and gotten Trevor Story. It sounded like what was being offered for Story was light. So go in there and ask what's it going to take. So that way you get the jump on Trevor Story. The Mariners did not do that. So we're going to give the Mariners a D for this one. All right. Last American League team, the Angels. I'm really surprised that they traded away Andrew Heaney. I know he's a free agent in the offseason. His season is a bust. It's a wash. The Angels traded away Andrew Heaney for some prospects. It's something. Angels pretty quiet all around in this trade deadline. There was really nothing they could do. They were sort of stuck in the middle, but they didn't really trade a lot away to get anything good back. Any guys that they had on short control, I'm going to give them Angels a D. I think the Angels missed an opportunity here. So a lot of C's and D's in the chat. I am going to give Tony Watson. Yep. I am going to give the Angels a D. I think they could have done more, and they just didn't. All right, let's get to the National League. Yes, you're right, Tyler. Thank you for reminding me of that. Watson was one of the last-minute deals. Watson to San Francisco. Okay, National League time. Mets. All right, the Mets. Bad news for the Mets, by the way. Jacob deGrom with a setback. You have to Google that, Twitter search that, wherever you look for your news. Jacob deGrom with a setback today. So Mets, Javi Baez, the big move. They got Rich Hill earlier in the week. Baez is a big splash kind of move. They get Trevor Williams as well. Tyler, they're not going to get an F. When we're talking about impact players, I think Javi Baez is going to be very re-signable as well. I think because he told you it's where he wants to be. He wants to be with Francisco Lindor, and he's there, and Francisco Lindor's locked up. This should be somebody that they can re-sign. A or B is where I'm leaning. Listen, we gave the Rays an A for getting Nelson Cruz. We gave the Jays an A for getting Jose Barrios. We give the Yankees an A for the Gallo and Rizzo thing. I feel like we're giving the Mets an A for making the Javi Baez thing. They give up Pete Crow. Where's my notes? They give up Pete Crow Armstrong. I think that's a good deal. I think that's a good deal. Jake thinking that the Mets and the Rays should be Bs. I understand that. I can understand that. Maybe Rays are an A-. All right, perfectly fine. We're not supposed. We don't have to agree on here. I'm telling you that right now. We don't have to agree. We can disagree. But what we do agree on is that these guys are upper echelon in terms of the trade deadline results that they got. Bs and As. All right. So next up, and now this is going to be a little skewed because we're going to get to the other team out west, and they're going to get an A, and obviously their A is stronger than some of these other A's. But here we go. Let's keep going. The Phillies. Braves are next. Phillies right now. Phillies get Freddie Galvis from the Orioles. They bring him back. Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy, they needed to do that. Those were good pieces. They also had sort of a small under-the-radar move, Brandon Ogle from the Pirates for a lesser-known prospect. So the Phillies improve the bullpen. They make some bullpen moves. I think it's what they needed to do. They didn't make a big splash. They didn't go do the Chris Bryant thing. They didn't do any of that, but they did make some nice moves. Kyle Gibson, Ian Kennedy, they needed to improve the bullpen. They get some bullpen pieces in there. I see some Bs in the chat. I feel like it's a B- kind of situation, so they are in the B category. They could have made a trade for Story, but they got that Bryce Harper contract, that JT Realmuto contract. I thought the Phillies could be in play for Bryant, so obviously Story too. They're going to have to try and go get him during the offseason. That is for sure. They're going to have to try to do that because they can't take years off with Bryce Harper there. Braves. Here we are, the Braves. Comment in the chat. Where do you think the Braves land? Also, comment below where you think all of these should be. I haven't mentioned that in a while, but if you're catching the replay, comment below in the comment section your grades for these teams. I want to hear it. If you don't make the live stream, if you're catching the replay, please do comment below. And everybody that's here, hit that like. I don't know what we're at, but we got to get to a good number here. We are hanging around what's our number? We're at 33 likes. Can we get to 50? Can we push hard and get to 50? Are there 17 likes out there to be had? 17 likes that have not been used yet. Is that possible? Is that out there? Hit that like if you have not already. Let's get up to that 50 number. Okay. Braves, I'm seeing some Bs. I'm seeing some A's and I'm seeing some Bs. The Braves, Richard Rodriguez, last minute after. It was 20 minutes after the deadline passed, the announcement, Richard Rodriguez for Bryce Wilson and Ricky DeVito, Soler for prospect Casey Kalich, Eddie Rosario for Pablo Sandoval, Adam Duvall for catching prospect Alex Jackson, Jock Peterson for Bryce Ball a couple weeks ago. The Braves killed it. The Braves absolutely killed it out here in this trade deadline, and they get an A, dealing with the Ozuna situation, dealing with the Acuna injury. They go and make those moves. They are coming for the Mets. The Mets need to watch out. I think the Braves did better than the Phillies by a lot. And I mean, I'd be giving the Braves probably almost an A+ on this. What a great job by the Braves. Alex Anthopoulos makes moves. I don't know if Ozuna's ever coming back. He might be done. Unbelievable. Braves are making a move, basically resetting everything. Now, the starting situation, good thing they went out and got Morton and Smiley during the offseason. That's really helped them with the Soroka setback and everything. So let's go A. The word is, DeGrom is out until September. Isn't that amazing? That Rich Hill deal looks really good right now. All right, let's go to the next team in the National League East, and that is the Washington Nationals. Now, they went into full-blown sell-off mode after getting cleaned out by the Baltimore Orioles. Lester for Lane Thomas, Yan Gomes and Josh Harrison for Drew Millis, Seth Schumann, and Richard Gauss. Schwarber for Aldo Ramirez, Scherzer and Turner for Ruiz, Gray, Carrillo, Casey. Here's what we're going to do with the Nats. I see some Bs. I see some Cs. The Nats were in desperate need to replenish that system, and they did it. They did it in a big way. They gave up a lot. Say what you say. They've given up Trey Turner. Hard to give somebody a good grade if you're giving up Trey Turner. Max Scherzer, who knows if he was going to be back next year. What Washington did was rebuild their future. I'm going to give the Nats a B. I see some Cs. I see some Ds. If we're just looking at what they sold off, they would get an F. But that's not the point. What they got back, what they traded for, how rejuvenated they just brought their system back. This was a good move for the Nats. It is what they needed to do, and they did it. They didn't get anything big. You might see Ruiz this year. I think there's a very good chance after all these trades, after Yan Gomes, you can have Keeper Ruiz in there really soon. So we have the Nats with a B because they do a good job of bringing the system back together. All right. So let's go to the Miami Marlins. They traded away Adam Duvall, got catcher Alex Jackson. They traded away Yimi Garcia to Houston for Brian De La Cruz. The takeaway I had from that was that he's got an 880 OPS in the minors. They sent Starling Marte out. They bring Jesus Luzardo in. They traded Simber and Jackson away. They didn't really get much for Simber and Jackson, but that Luzardo piece is nice, everybody. That was a nice move. Maybe they could have done some other trades, but again, this isn't necessarily about the big name that they got back. It's what they did. I like what Miami did. There could be something with Luzardo. Something could be up with Luzardo. It's weird that the A's would just part with them like that. There's something weird with that, but I like what they got for Marte. I think they That was robbery. So I'm going to give Miami a B for that. All right. That is the National League East. Let's go to the Central. Keep your grades coming. I appreciate it. Keep them coming. All right. Let's get to the Brewers. Daniel Norris from Detroit, Eduardo Escobar from the Diamondbacks. They sent some prospects out. They get John Curtis from Miami. They picked up Roddy Tellez from the Jays, and Roddy Tellez has done very well. The Milwaukee Brewers did a good job. Comment in the chat. Let me know where you have the Brewers. Where do you have the Brewers? I'm leaning B or C. Probably I'm leaning B. I am leaning B for the Milwaukee Brewers. In my opinion, I think that is a fair grade for the Brewers with all that they brought back. They didn't. You think about it. Basically, they assembled the squad that they're going to go into the playoffs with. Because I mean, are the Reds going to catch the Brewers? No. So the Brewers, are the Cardinals going to catch them? Maybe. But the Brewers did a good job to try to put away the division. They're not in a heated contest for the division necessarily right now, but they do a good job to get pieces to put away the division and be ready for a playoff series. All right, that's the Brewers. Get some Bs. The Reds basically sat this thing out. They got Michael Givens. They gave up two top 30 prospects. That kind of looks like a lot right now, what they gave up for Michael Givens. They didn't do much. The Reds kind of sat it out, and they could have tried to deal Sonny Gray. They could have dealt Suarez. They could have done some things. They didn't do it. I feel like this is a C or a D. I'm going to go D. I think they ended up, now it was early, I think they ended up giving too much up for Michael Givens. So I'm going to go C for the Reds. I see some C's and some D's in the chat for the Reds. Let's go to the Cubs. Oh, the Cubs. Cubs. What is going on? Let's recap the Cubs situation. They traded Marisnick to the Padres. They got the 9th and 30th prospects in return for Bryant. They got Pete Crow Armstrong from the Mets for Baez and Williams. They got Madrigal and Hoyer for Craig Kimbrell. They traded Rizzo to the Yankees for Vizcaino and Alcantara. They did a lot. Bryce Ball comes in. Jock Peterson goes out. The Cubs got a lot. We talk about the Nationals getting a B for giving life to that system, that minor league, that prospect system. The Cubs are probably in the same boat. I see some Bs. I see some As. Look, the deal is Baez, maybe he doesn't re-sign with the Mets. I think it would be a shocker. Bryant, maybe he doesn't re-sign with the Giants. The Cubs took the route of let's get something for these guys. And unlike the Rockies, who the Rockies decided they're just going to try to get some compensation picks, the Cubs get some pieces back. I see some Bs. I see some As. I see a lot. I see CF. I am going to ultimately, in a tough situation, I'm going to give the Cubs – I'm torn between B and C. Quick with your grade. Where do you put them? I'm going to let the chat make the final decision on the Cubs. B or C? Give me your B. Give me your C. Where do you put them? They obviously don't get an A. I'm not going to give them a D or an F. I'm going B or C. If you like them for an A, then hit B. If you like them for an F, then hit C. We're going to put the Cubs in B or C. Hit it hard. B or C. Where do you have them? I want to see. We got a lot of Bs, a lot of Cs. It seems to be torn in the chat as well. Bs and Cs. A lot of Cs lately. A lot of Bs. I don't want to flip a coin. A lot of C's, some B's, a lot of different names with the C's. All right. We're going to go C for the Cubs. It's a C plus. Okay. It's a C plus. If you wanted the Cubs to be a B, listen, it's a C plus for the Cubs. All right. Next up in the Central are the Pirates. They traded Rodriguez away. They got Bryce Wilson and Ricky DeVito from the Braves. They traded Frazier to the Padres. They got 3 prospects back from the Padres. Where do we put the Pirates in all of this? Bryce Wilson's been up and down. Rodriguez You know he's great. They had to make that move. But what do we think of Wilson? The prospects for Frazier, I don't think, if I remember, any of them were top 30s. I believe there was one kid that had some upside. I'm going to go C. I'm going to go C for Pittsburgh. It's a tough go. Listen, it's a tough go. But if we're giving the Pirates, if we're giving the Cubs a C, we're going to give the Pirates a C. At the end of the day, it's a decent return for Wilson, and we're going to go C. It's a C plus. It's a C plus. Okay, now we're getting to the National League West. It's about to get interesting. Okay, and let's start with the two bottom feeders in that division. The Rockies get an F. The Diamondbacks get an F. I'm giving the Rockies and Diamondbacks Fs hard. Rest in peace, Rockies and Diamondbacks. I see you, Redbirds. No, you'll be all right. Fs for both of them. F to the Rockies for not trading away Story, for not trading away Gray, for not trading away CJ Cron, for basically sitting on their hands. The Rockies are going to be in either last place or next to last place for the next 5 years, and they're going to have absolutely nothing. Did I forget the Cardinals? I'm sorry, my man. Thank you. I'm going to get back to the Cardinals after I finish crushing the National League West teams. I was so antsy to crush the Rockies and the Diamondbacks here. I'm so disappointed in what the Rockies did. I think it's a big miss that they should have done it. The draft pick that they get, I don't care if you get a draft pick or two. There's a high fail rate when you get to the end of the first round. This isn't like the NFL where a first rounder, no matter what, is worth gold. It's not how it works in baseball. So I don't like what the Rockies did at all. Not moving Story was a big miss. The Diamondbacks, here's what they did. A player to be named later for Soria, and then Escobar, two not top 30 prospects from what I could tell. I didn't see Cooper Hummel and Alberto Ciprian from the Brewers, and those were not regarded prospects. And Escobar is having a great season, so to not get a good return there, to hold on to Ketel Marte, to hold on to David Peralta, to hold on to Kelly, for what? What are they holding? D minus? Okay, F plus. How about this? We'll split the difference. The Diamondbacks get an F plus. I don't understand the point. What are you doing? They were not going to get better value than a comp pick. We don't necessarily know that. That is the narrative that's out there, but we don't really know that, and we never will. We never will. That's the rationale for why the Rockies didn't trade Trevor Story, but we won't know that. And we're not going to know that for 5 years, because whoever is picked in that number, in those comp picks, we won't see them. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think they should have tried to get some pieces. What happened, buddy?
Royals catcher or bite.
They are. You're right. Vladdy's up, making his 2020 and 2021 debut in the Sky Dome / Rogers Center. Anyway, sorry. So, all right. Diamondbacks and Rockies Rockies get an F minus. Diamondbacks get an F plus. Let's see. The Brotastic Bro, never seen the channel before. Join the stream. Love the perspective content. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing. Stay close to the channel. Talk baseball all the time here. I hope you guys enjoy that. Vladdy's got a base hit, and we got one out, one on for the Jays. Thank you for that. Please subscribe. Stay close to the channel. More baseball content coming. I got player locks coming for Gallo and for Rizzo and for most of these guys. Quite frankly, I'm just going to run myself into an exhausted coma trying to do all these player locks now, but it's part of the channel. Is what we're going to do. So we've got that going on. We got to jump back to the Cardinals. All right, I messed up. I got all excited and antsy about crushing the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. Let's see. Sam, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, brother. All right, Cardinals. Where are my Cardinals? Cardinals, John Lester in for Lane Thomas. J.A. Happ in for John Gand and Evan Sisk. Cardinals needed some pitching help, and they go out and they get it. I feel good about what the Cardinals did. And no big move, no crazy move, no Trevor Story. Redbird 618. So you wanted me to get to the Cardinals so you could drop an F on them? There are other moves they could have made. They could have tried to get something done. I don't think anything they did was crazy impressive. Lester is okay. I'm going between C and D on the Cardinals. I think they could have done more. They could have tried to reunite Story with Arenado. They didn't do that. And I've got to think, Paul DeYoung and some prospects could have maybe gotten that deal done. They don't do that. So let's give the Cardinals a D. I got the D's and the F's. We're going to go D for the Cardinals. They tried. They did something. They came around. They got a couple pitchers. They could have done more. We'll give them a D, though, because they really didn't make any moves to keep up with what the Brewers were doing. The Brewers making moves to try to, again, secure that division. The Cardinals did not do anything to make a run and try to come back. So we go D. Johnny likes it as a C-. Okay, that's cool. That is a fair grade. Everybody that is here hanging out, make sure you hit that like, too. I think we're at 66. We certainly have enough viewers. Thank you all for being here on this trade deadline post evening. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. If you're enjoying the stream, hit that like. We're about 32 likes away from 100. I know we can do it. We're 24 likes away from 100. We have over 220 people watching right now. If you haven't used your like yet, please do that. It really helps the channel out. It helps me out. So if you appreciate what I'm doing, the best way to show your appreciation is hitting that like. We're 17 likes away. We're 13 likes away. Let's get this thing to 100. It pushes it out to more people. It expands the community. It grows things. It keeps me doing this. I appreciate you guys for doing that. And I know there's one person in here that just hit the dislike, and that is perfectly fine. It is in your right to hit the dislike if you want to do that. I am not going to crush you for that. You are allowed to do that. Not everybody likes when I start asking for likes, so I understand that. 103 likes. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. And make sure to subscribe. Stay close to the channel. If you're new, I want you to come back. I want you to be able to find the channel. I can't tell you how many people comment on our video and tell me how they couldn't, YouTube wouldn't let them find the channel again or something. They were whatever. So make sure you subscribe so you can find your way back to the channel for future content. We have the 3 big NL West teams to go. And yes, we did get over 100. So thank you guys. You all are absolutely amazing. Sure, buddy, go for it. So here we go. Let's start with the Padres. Oh, Padres. Oh, Padres. Daniel, thank you for subscribing yesterday and hitting the like today. I appreciate that. What do we think about the poor San Diego Padres? Are they poor San Diego Padres? I mean, they look like they were the favorite for Gallo. It was Gallo, John Daniels, and A.J. Preller. They're friends. They're talking. They're putting together. I don't know how friendly they are now. So it looked like they were going for Gallo. They don't get Gallo. Then we had Max Scherzer watch. Scherzer was going to San Diego. They were putting the pieces together. But during Scherzer watch yesterday, I said, wait, the Dodgers have done this before. They did it with Bauer. It looked like Bauer was going to the Mets. Then they swooped in and they took Trevor Bauer. And the Dodgers had it. The Padres had it happen to them as the Dodgers did it again as they lost Scherzer. But they did get Frazier, the major league hit leader. That's a great piece. They were unable to unload Hosmer. That's definitely going to play in here. I see some Fs. I see some Ds. I see some Cs. Oh, boy. Am I really going to do it? Am I really going to give the Padres a D for unable? I mean, how much more could they do? I can't do a D. I got to go C. We got to go C. And the screen is totally frozen and glitched out on me. What is happening? The technology internet gods want the page is unresponsive. I guess we'll wait. Okay. Listen, you're going to have to take my word for it the rest of the way here because for the last 3 teams, I got an unresponsive page. The Padres are getting a C. C for the Padres as we have an unresponsive web page. Wait, I'm not going to exit the page because this is going to completely go away. So Padres get a C. You're going to have to trust me on that. Next up, the Giants, they go out, they get Chris Bryant, last minute Chris Bryant trade with 10 minutes left until the deadline. The Giants make the big move. They get Chris Bryant. They sent their 9th and 30th prospects. I really liked what the Giants did. I would move it if I could. I think the Giants get, oh man, it's either an A, it's a B plus. The Giants are up there. They didn't do a whole. They did get Watson as well. I'm going to give the Giants an A. Giants get an A for what they did. Again, I can't move it. The screen is locked. So we got Giants as an A. Padres are a C. It's not a D. And then we got the Dodgers. What's up, buddy? Okay, go take care of it, pal. All right, Dodgers. It is time for the Dodgers. Is there any surprise? Any surprise about the Dodgers being an A? You try to convince me that it's not an A move for what the Dodgers did this trade deadline. Dodgers get an A. Giants get an A. I think that the Dodgers going out and getting Scherzer and Trey Turner, I know they gave up some top prospects, but the Dodgers get an A for what they did. So the Dodgers are the final A team. So here are the A teams: the Dodgers, the Giants, the Braves, the Mets, the Rays, the Jays, and the Yankees. The more I look at this, I feel like the Rays definitely should be a B. But Nelson Cruz is awesome. So we're going to leave the Rays as an A. So it is Dodgers, again, Dodgers, Giants, Braves, Mets, Rays, Jays, and Yankees. Those are the A teams. The B teams: Red Sox, White Sox, Twins, Astros, Athletics, Phillies, Nats, for all of the prospects that they brought in. The Marlins and the Brewers get Bs. C, Orioles, Rangers, Cubs, Pirates. D, Tigers, Royals, Cleveland, the Mariners, the Angels, the Reds, Cardinals. And the Padres were a C. And then the F, Rockies, and A. This was a good trade deadline. Not just good. This was amazing. This was historic, guys. This is not – next year's trade deadline is going to be a bummer because it's not going to be anywhere near what this was. And don't forget, there is the waiver trade deadline. The players are going to have to clear waivers, but you got the waiver deadline at the end of August. So there is more. Don't be surprised. Hosmer still probably gets dealt. I think he's going to clear waivers because if he doesn't, someone's got to take him. So I think Hosmer probably gets traded through waivers. Luke Voit, it'd be tough for Luke Voit to clear waivers. Basically, the way waivers works, if you don't know, you send a player through waivers. If they clear waivers, you can trade them to anybody. If you send him through waivers and he gets claimed, you either have to work out a trade, give that player to that team that claimed him, or pull him off waivers. So that's how that works. It's a boy, Sly. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. As winners of the division, I'd like to wish the best of luck to the Giants and Padres for the wild card. Can you imagine that wild card, whether it's Dodgers and Padres or Giants and Dodgers or Giants and Padres or whoever, that wild card is going to be absolutely insane. Those three. I do MLB Joey. I think they still don't they still. I thought they still had that. I'll have to look that up. I thought I read that they were still doing that. I'll double check that. MLB Joey maybe they changed that. I thought that they were still doing that. So we'll see. We'll see. They got rid of the waiver deadline. MLB Joey with the update here. I thought I read that. I'll double check that. So it could be there's still something at the end of August though. There's still something at the end of August. What is it? I think the waiver period, and then, but if you do that, you have to give them to, I don't know what it is. There's something with the waiver deadline. I'll look that up. Make sure I get that right, moving forward. But I appreciate everybody that was here live for this. I do look forward to continuing this conversation. So make sure you subscribe, stay close to the channel, hit the alerts for when we go live again. We will be live again. The next time I know I will be live for certain, scheduled, is Wednesday. We're going to get through the weekend. We got Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, there will be a stream at 7 o'clock. We'll sort of, Teddy G will join me, and we will take our post-trade deadline team outlooks, who we think is going to go the rest of the way. Yeah, and there goes the page. So that's fantastic. So let's move that out of the way. So there are going to be, there's going to be a stream there, and then there'll be lots of content, lots of player locks with these guys making their debuts on their new team. So I appreciate everybody for being here. Hit that like on the way out as we sort of wind down. We're sitting at 125 likes. Are there 25 more likes to be had to get us to 150 before we go? 25 viewers that have not used their likes yet. please do. Let's see. Matthew Toms, I'm a Braves fan and missed what you said about the Braves. What happened to them, Matthew? I would love to answer your question if you're still here. Braves, what did the Braves do? They loaded up on outfielders. The Braves absolutely loaded up on outfielders. They had, let me get it up. I don't want to forget. Richard Rodriguez last minute came in. Bryce Wilson on the way out. You've got Eddie Rosario coming in. You've got Jorge Soler coming in. Adam Duvall, Jock Peterson a week and a half ago. Braves with a big haul. So that is what the Braves did. Everybody, I'm going to let you go. Get out of here. Go watch the games. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. Keep an eye on the channel for the upcoming player locks. Hit the like on the way out. I will see you all again soon. There's my boy. He's hanging out watching the Jays game. I'm going to go watch the Jays game and do some recording of the Yankees game to grab some Gallo and Rizzo at bats. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out, spending some time with the channel, spending some time with the video. For the recorded version, I will add some links for you to check out some of the other trade deadline content. Again, thank you for everybody that was here live. Make sure to like, comment below with your thoughts if you're catching the replay. Thank you for spending some time with the channel. And as always, thank you for coming in and watching the video. Take care, everybody.